Welcome back to This is 30, where today we answer the age-old question. Is Tim Burton's The Nightmare Before Christmas a Halloween or Christmas movie?
It's both.
It's both.
It's both. It's 1000% both.
It's yes and no.
It's a Halloween movie.
The answer is yes.
Yes.
Genuinely.
Okay.
Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.
Bye!
Welcome back to the spooky edition of This is 30. And today we're talking about a movie that came out October 15, 1993. That movie is Tim Burton's Nightmare Before Christmas, which is apparently one of Big Grim's favorite movies.
Yeah.
As you can tell.
Oh, yeah.
So, Big Grim, tell us, you know what? Just take it away.
Okay. So, The Nightmare Before Christmas, is 30 years as of this year in 2023, and is probably one of the best examples of a stop motion kind of movie. In which case, the way how it works is that, like, you literally have like these figurines or so, and in one position, move them over slightly, take a picture, move them slightly again, take a picture, move them over slightly again, take a picture, rinse, wash, repeat until you have an entire movie. This takes painstakingly long to actually do, but let me tell you something. To this day, still stop motion kind of like pictures, to me, are just like a work of art in and of itself. And let's be honest, a lot of people, including myself, saw this movie and just found their inner emo and just blossomed from there. And it honestly, I know it's something Johnny 64 doesn't want to admit, but at the same time, though, listen, we're here, we're staying, and we have a Nightmare Before Christmas to thank for that. So, thanks, Tim Burton. We love you. Honestly, looking past the animation, this is also one of Danny Elfman's best scores that I've ever heard for like any movie that he's done. We have iconic songs, like just like. I'm gonna take a sip.
This is Halloween. What's this? What's this?
What's this?
Oh my god!
What's this?
Mm-hmm. Jack's Lament, Sally's song. My god!
Yeah.
Honestly, every one of these I think are a hit in their own special way.
I totally
the characters
agree.
themselves, once again, iconic. Oogie Boogie, Jack, fucking Skeleton, the Pumpkin King, Sally. Oh my god, literally icons, every single one of them. And what happens when the Pumpkin King wants to be Santa for a year? Hilarity ensues.
Well, see, that's the thing about this movie. To me, this movie is about a guy who just is bored of his life. Not his life. He's bored at his job, and he wants to find another job to go do. So what does he do? He says, let me take a temporary job over here and see how that works out. And then realizes, I can't. Nope. I can't do this.
Well,
sort of.
Yes, you're right in a way, but at the same time, yes, someone loses the passion in what they've done for so long that it just becomes tedious. But while doing this new undertaking, the only way that you can relate to it is to go back to your previous passion and just make this new thing the old thing that you did, which is still done beautifully. I mean, my God, who else wants to open up a dead rat on Christmas, look at their parents' deadpan while they're screaming their pants off? Not me, but still.
If you break it down, it's a relatable story in the sense that he's having an identity crisis. I mean, yeah, he's the leader, he's the celebrity of the Halloween celebration, scaring everybody all over the place. But everyone's, he just needs a chance to breathe. What's the famous quote? Absence makes the heart grow fonder.
Yeah.
So the mayor of the town was already was ready to plan Halloween 365 days or 664 days, and Jack was just missing for one night. You know,
and of
Yeah,
course
so-
that iconic line, "Jack, where are you? I'm only an elected official. I don't know what I'm doing." Oh, it's so hard.
That's
today.
Tim Burton humor.
But you know what though? He's not wrong because all elected
Of course
officials
not.
don't know what they're doing.
Of course not.
Yep.
I have to say,
100% true.
this is probably like the most Tim Burton-y Tim Burton movie that's ever existed in the Tim Burton realm. Like just everything about it, the character design, the songs, the nature of the songs, the humor, the lines, the one-liners, everything about it. I don't think this is like years and years from now when he passes away, like you remember him for something. This movie is probably going to come first, either this or like
this is it.
1989
Absolutely.
Batman.
I don't know. To me, it's Beetlejuice.
It's Beetlejuice in this probably, and I'm gonna say this by like a hair.
I think,
right
yeah,
behind-
this is just
I
too
don't
iconic.
think Batman. To be honest with you, I mean, you could put it in his top 3, but I don't. I would think that it's 1 and 2, and it could be depending on the day of the week. We can change it. Who's first and who's second between Beetlejuice and Nightmare Before Christmas.
Mhm.
But maybe Batman would be 3, or hell, even James and the Giant Peach was great. Coraline was great.
Was
Would he
James
put
and the Giant
James and the Giant
Peach
Peach is
directed by
so-
him?
Underrated.
I
Would
believe
he-
so.
I
When
think
he put Edward
produced it.
Scissorhands.
That movie too, actually.
Edward
that was-
Scissorhands, I would probably
yeah.
put up there before Batman. Coraline, I don't think Tim Burton touched that one.
No, maybe it was.
James and the Giant Peach, I think he was involved. I don't think he directed it, though. I could be wrong.
Maybe I'm wrong, or maybe it was Danny Elfman who did the scores on them that I'm confusing him with.
Regardless, Johnny,
Yeah.
my man, my main man, my anti-emo down there.
Yeah.
In all honesty, man, like I don't think we've genuinely had a conversation about this. What is your God's honest take on this entire movie?
I mean, I always loved this movie. Like I said, I'm generally a Tim Burton fan. Sometimes I feel like he makes things a little like just not too creepy, but like creepy for the sake of being creepy. And I feel like
Kooky.
yeah, maybe kooky is more like it goes too much into like the zany realm where it's like, okay, tone it down a little bit. This movie, not so much. I love the music, but I feel like when it comes to the songs, they're all obviously that they're classics, but I feel like there's moments in this movie where like characters are singing where they don't need to be singing. You know what I mean?
It's a
They
freaking
get-
musical.
I get it's a
Yeah,
musical.
it
I
is
know.
a
musical.
But like, it's not like anything catchy. They're just talking in melody. They're not like singing a song. You know what I mean? Like there are certain scenes where they're just kind of expressing how they feel, and it's just in a certain key. And it's like, okay, it's about like we're ballading right now, but it's not like it's not like the iconic songs that are in this movie. You know what I mean?
So I think what you're trying to like come across is that like there's no choir. It's not like every song is "This Is Halloween" where you have the entire town singing. Whereas as Jack's Lament, it is just Jack singing. Sally's song, it's just Sally singing. Oogie Boogie song, it's just him. I get what we're trying to say with that.
Oogie Boogie song is great.
that
is
one
different.
though.
That is different.
Not just the song. That whole scene when he first shows up and he
Yeah.
starts singing and everything,
Mm-hmm.
phenomenal.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Wholeheartedly agree.
Because like that all adds up, like the action, the aesthetic, like everything that's happening as they're singing. But then like there's just certain scenes like where they're just like kind of walking and like like it's like one of his songs. It's Jack's Lament, but he's just standing there like lamenting and just like woe is me and no, and it's just like, what is he talking about again? Like there are certain moments where it's just kind of like not loses me, but I'm just trying to focus as we're getting to the next part of the scene. We just have to get through those longer drawn out parts of the song. I think that's the way to say it. Is like some parts of songs feel drawn out when they don't need to be, and that's my only critique that I feel like I can give this movie, because otherwise like it is like a stone cold classic of a Halloween movie, and it is a Halloween movie.
Yes,
It's both.
it's yes. The answer is yes.
So I have a gripe. Actually, let me rephrase this.
Mm-hmm.
There's something I hate about this movie, and also something that I like about this movie that are both interconnected. The fact that this movie is only an hour and 15 minutes upsets me because it's short, but at the same time, it was so well thought and connected that it was just enough to say, here you go, here's a full story. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
It's good, but it's also bad at the same time.
Well, no, I'm going to stick with the good part because in this sense, it didn't overstay its welcome.
Right.
Like it got to its point. It was great. It was phenomenal.
But that's what I'm saying.
And
right.
I understand what Johnny's saying, with like some songs are like kind of dragged out a little bit. The movie as a whole wasn't really dragged out. So
no,
yeah,
absolutely not.
I have an interesting question for you, the three of you. Would you say this movie has three villains that are on par with each other? Obviously, Oogie Boogie, Dr. Finkelstein, and the mayor, or just Dr. Finkelstein and Oogie Boogie, if I can say his name correctly.
There's one villain. That's Oogie
Yeah.
Boogie.
Yeah.
Dr.
There's no other villain.
Yeah, the mayor is not a villain in any way.
Well, he's a selfish prick, and the
mayor.
The mayor's not selfish. He just doesn't know what he's doing because he's supposed to be in charge and he doesn't know what he's doing.
And
he's an elected official.
And the EO scientist, his treatment of Polly,
Dr. Finkelstein, I wouldn't classify as a villain, especially when he's more than willing to help Jack on this new path of trying to Halloweenize Christmas and
He's
make
like
it
the
his
scientific Squidward of the movie.
Right. I will say though, he's a dick because of the way he treats Sally. Other than that, he's not evil. This
is my take, and I like Big Grim. I want you to. I feel like you might agree with me on this, right? So, Jack Skellington, obviously the protagonist. When it comes to the stark antagonist of the movie, it's also Jack Skellington. I feel like he's the one either getting in his own way or causing his own trouble to begin with. Guys like the mayor and Oogie Boogie and all that, like they're not villains in the sense that they're the ones like concocting this plot, because the plot was performed by Jack Skellington himself. He caused all of this to happen. He's the one wreaking havoc, really, and then realizing what he did and having to undo it. But then by the time he's doing that, you got guys like Oogie Boogie in the mix that are making it tough. But I think end of the day, he's his own worst enemy in this story.
To a degree, I will say yes. But having said that, though, the antagonist doesn't need to be there halfway throughout the movie or from the beginning. The antagonist can show up literally at the last minute, and that's what Oogie Boogie did. Oogie Boogie is the one who's preventing Jack from basically fixing Christmas. Yep. Yes, Jack is the one who got lock, shock, and barrel involved anyway, who, of course, got Oogie Boogie involved. But at the same time, though, listen.
He's like, he kidnapped Santa.
He did.
So
he kidnapped Santa. He kidnapped the Easter Bunny. He kidnapped almost Christmas. Every holiday on his way up to Santa and gave Santa a heart attack. Let's be honest.
But you got to think, though, he sent children to go do his dirty work.
Yes, he did.
That's why they made the mistake of catching everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And another thing I love about this movie, playing off real life and pop culture, skipping Halloween, going straight to Christmas. I mean, Thanksgiving has a small cameo when Jack's in the woods and you see the different doors to the holidays, including the turkey door. But other than that, it's straight to Christmas. As soon as it's November 1st, Christmas music is playing everywhere. Goddamn Mariah comes out of hiding. God help us all.
Why would you say her name?
Oh, she's already out as of the recording of this video. She's already out. She posted that video.
another fun fact about this movie that always blows my mind. This is very much Tim Burton's baby brainchild creation, but I always forget he's not the director. He's not the
Yep.
screenwriter.
Yep.
That's and it's it's always presented as Tim Burton's Nightmare Before Christmas,
Mhm.
but the fact
Well,
that he's
the
not the
idea was
director.
his.
Say that again.
The idea was his. Everything was his.
Yeah.
Just because you're not a script writer, or actually, let me rephrase what you're saying, Pancakes, because originally it was called The Nightmare Before Christmas. Only recently, in the last, I'd say 20 years, has it been changed to Tim Burton's The Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yep.
Fair enough.
He wrote a short. If you watch the behind the scenes of what he talks about The Nightmare Before Christmas, he wrote a short story. It was a short, like a poem actually, and he wrote the poem about this story. And it was originally supposed to be created and produced back in the 80s, and it didn't. It took 10 years for it to come to fruition, for lack of a better term. But it was produced by him. It was a story by him. Everything was by him, other than the actual screenplay and the director.
Yeah.
Also, Catherine O'Hara as Sally. So she from one she's a legend, an icon on another Christmas franchise in Home Alone. So, and yes, it's a Christmas movie too, Johnny. So she's part of two legendary pop culture Christmas movies this time of year.
And not her first involvement with Tim Burton. If they
Nope.
worked together on Beetlejuice.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Very much another Tim Burton collaborator. But as much as this is Tim Burton's movie, to like Graham was mentioning over, this is a Danny Elfman movie from beginning to end. People say he is Jack Skellington, even though he's just a singing voice. People think of him first. They don't. They don't think of Chris
Swanson.
No,
not Swanson. Yeah, Swanson.
They don't think they don't think of the
Sarandon. Sorry, Sarandon. Chris Sarandon.
He did.
Susan Sarandon's husband or ex-husband.
But he gets overshadowed by the legendary Danny Elfman with these songs that are tied with pop culture during spooky season and the holiday season to bring them together. Fucking legendary and phenomenal, and just gives me chills anytime I see this movie. Not to Grimm's level, of course, but it's always entertaining and so good.
You guys want to know something that's not well known, and it's a little like fun fact?
I feel like we're gonna get hit with some numbers.
Oh no, I didn't go to the numbers yet, but I will tell you there is a surprise cameo in this, except for the fact that he was cut, but he's only on the soundtrack, and that is none other than Sir Patrick Stewart.
Really?
He was supposed to be the narrator of the whole movie. Instead, he was cut, but you can hear him in the soundtrack if you have the soundtrack. He's in that. Yeah. So that's a little fun fact that nobody knows, or rarely.
Another fun fact
has a cut of that movie ever surfaced where you could hear the narration?
There was never a cut made. It was just put in as soundtrack. Like if you buy the actual soundtrack CD, you will hear Sir Patrick Stewart on there. Other than that, that's pretty much it.
So another cameo fun fact: if you going back to James and the Giant Peach, Jack Skellington actually makes a cameo appearance there. If you remember that scene.
Yeah, in the food. No, wasn't it the cereal or something?
No, he legit makes an appearance. Well, I guess his studio prop model does. They don't actually acknowledge him as Jack Skellington. Okay. But there was a scene when they're in the sunken ship under the water and they're about to open the treasure chest, and then he comes out in like this pirate garb. It's very clearly him. And I think they did that intentionally, but they're not like, he's not saying like he's Jack Skellington. He's just like he's supposed to be a full, like dead pirate or something like that. But it's very clearly like his face and his body and everything. So I think that was like a little nod. But yeah, watch
Now
that movie.
the-
Then you'll see it immediately.
Now, does Corpse Bride take place in the same universe as Nightmare
No,
Before
that's
Christmas?
everybody trying to put them together.
Mm-hmm.
Graham, do you have
No.
any comment on that? Just a no.
No.
I actually watched. When you mentioned like watching this in the theater, when I mentioned that I've seen it in the theater before, it was a double feature with The Corpse Bride, where I think they showed that movie first and this movie last, because it's supposed to be him
Jack Skellington.
dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, sure. Let's go with
Mhm.
that. Okay, so numbers. Since you guys asked for numbers,
Yeah,
Ready for that?
I want the numbers.
you want the numbers. All right.
I
So the
want the
numbers
numbers.
are the budget was. So, gentlemen, is it
Yeah.
safe to say that this movie is certified classic?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
1000%.
100%.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Nice. Okay.
A must watch for both holidays.
Yes, for both holidays, and also what I failed to mention before is that when I was bringing up the fact that it was supposed to be brought up, it was supposed to be made in the 80s. Do you know why it wasn't made in the 80s?
Why is that?
Because Disney said, we don't understand it. It seems like it's too harsh for children.
Yeah, that
Lord.
sounds like a Disney.
But meanwhile, it's okay to have like Bambi's mother shot and
Yeah.
everything that we got during the 90s, pretty much, with all the deaths that we saw as kids, between Mufasa dying and
Yep.
like Tarzan,
Yep.
the guy hanging from a tree and all that shit. It was okay.
Well,
But
to be fair, that happened after this.
well, I guess this movie
Yeah, but
opened
still.
their eyes.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
They always had
So,
dark stuff going on.
Any closing thoughts before we roll these credits?
I love this movie so much.
We know. Anybody else other than Grimm?
Legendary. This movie will forever hold up.
Yeah, I mean, what else can be said? Certified classic.
All right, Grimm, one more. You can just throw in that last one. Go for it.
Tim Burton, thank you. Bottom of my heart, appreciate everything that you do. You've made a people come together that thought that they were just by themselves, and we realized no, we're not. There's hundreds of us that feel the exact same way. So, thank you, genuinely.
And with that, ladies and gentlemen, and everyone in between, that's pretty much it. That's what we have to say. And let us know what you guys think. Did you like it? Did you hate it? Do you think that they should make a sequel? And how bad of an idea is that?
No.
Leave
How
it
dare-
alone.
Why
Leave
would
it
you say
alone.
no?
Credits.
No,
Roll
no,
credits.
absolutely not. I will not stand for this.
Don't forget to like and subscribe. And after that, we're all out. So roll credits.
Get back here. We're not done with
We're
this.
all
No
credits.
sequel.
Okay.
No sequel. Roll credits.